Hey guys, here we are. We're back with part 2 of episode 9. Next week's episode 10, homie.
We have a party, dude.
We are going to have a party.
Strippers and all.
It might just be you and I.
That's okay.
But nonetheless, we're going to have a party. 362 fans last time I checked. So solid. Very exciting. Our last 3 episodes, quick little fun fact. If you combine the videos, over 2,500 hits.
Wow.
And the 4, we only have 4 on YouTube, and those 4 are near 3,500.
That's incredible, man.
Very incredible. So thank you guys for the support.
Keep at it, people.
We're going to keep with some of the local sports. I know we have fans all across the country. We have people in California.
Crazy,
we have
man.
people in Middle America. It's awesome. But the Boston Celtics were not just one game away from the championship.
They were about 5 minutes.
They were about 5 minutes, and they ran out of gas.
They were a Kendrick Perkins away from them.
Yeah, they were Kendrick Perkins away. That was such a huge injury. You don't really think of his value until he's not there.
Absolutely.
This year, they re-signed Ray Allen. They brought him back 2-year deal, I believe.
I believe it is a 2-year deal.
They re-signed Paul Pierce to what's likely going to be his last Celtics contract. They brought in Shaq. They kept Nate Robinson. They locked up Rondo. They got rid of Scal. They got rid of Scal.
Yeah.
They brought in Jermaine O'Neal.
D. West.
Delonte West, yep. So it seems like the Celtics know this is kind of going to be their final push. Do you agree with that?
Well, I've read a couple places that they plan on blowing the team up completely after 2 years. Like once KG's contract's up, once Ray Allen's contract's up, they just plan on blowing it up and building a whole team around Rajon Rondo and Kendrick Perkins. So I think, we probably have, I probably agree with them. They have probably 2 more years left, if that, then take it from there. Because I don't know how big of a contract you don't want to give to 3 people that are reaching 36, 37 years old.
Right.
But, with the moves that they made, I definitely think that they can win the championship this year. I think Miami, Dwayne Wade's already fucking hurt. He has a hamstring injury. That's going to hamper him all season. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, I just tweaked it.
Right.
This dude looked like I heard an awesome quote that he was like the Bionic Man last year. He had so much shit on him, and now he has a tweaked hamstring. So I think they're overrated, even though they have 3 awesome players. And I personally don't give a shit about Chris Bosh. He talks like he's the man in that team. You're not.
No,
you're the third best player on that team. That's questionable. You're nobody. You're only there just to be there.
But to be fair, he is, at his position, one of the best in the NBA. At his position where he can run center and power forward. I think he's one of the best in that position. You got, obviously, Dirk Nowitzki there. Tim Duncan when he runs power forward. KG. I think he's one of the best. And any night he can do 20-20.
Not going to do it this time, though. He's a third option, dude.
The third option, I agree. But, I mean, the way that these guys are talking, and I know it's just talk, but they're like, we don't care who gets the ball, which is BS because I think once LeBron... It gets around MVP time, and his numbers are slouching. And personally, I think Kevin Durant's going to be the MVP this year.
I think he's going to be too, as do most of the GMs.
Oh yeah,
I predict Kevin Durant to win it.
I didn't see that. But back to the Celtics. What is the? Let's see. What am I trying to say here? Do you like the roster moves they made? Are you big on Shaq coming over? Can he still handle it? Are you big on the Jermaine O'Neal thing? Delonte West, he's got to sit out the first 10 games because he was riding a motorcycle with 35 guns.
Gangster.
Yeah, wicked gangster. But are you cool with all these moves? Do you like them? Is there one that you may not have done?
Excuse me, I'm burping. I think the roster move is really good this year. People are underestimating Shaq. Shaq, last night, dude, he had 7 assists. 7. He played 18 minutes and he had 7 assists. That's unbelievable, dude. And with Kendrick Perkins not being back till January by a conservative date, I think they did great. If you think about it, the reason why we lost the finals is we could not rebound against Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum, even douchebag Lamar Odom and Ron Artest. We just didn't have the bodies. Mr. Kardashian. Exactly. You married the ugly Kardashian.
Right? How do you do that?
Come talk to me to marry Kim. But, now we have 2 able bodies in Shaq and Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal is now the other O'Neal on our team. So put them in. We have extra big people. They're not hurting like Rasheed Wallace was. Delonte West knows the system, former Celtic. I think Delonte West is a great player. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the NBA. And the one move I think they should have done is added Rudy Fernandez. They were talking
Yeah.
about it for a while. I've always liked Fernandez. He's awesome in the video games.
He's a great 3-point shooter.
Great 3-point shooter, and he just provides more depth behind Ray Allen and Paul Pierce. You have Von Wafer. His name is Von Wafer.
Right.
Hard to say. Can't take him that seriously. But I like the draft picks. Luke Herondordi, I think, is going to be a sleeper. I think he's definitely going to help.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I think the roster moves were good. I would have liked to see them get a little bit younger because, like, what they had to do last year with the 7-game series at the end, they just ran out of gas.
Yeah.
And it sucked that Perk was out because Rashid was hurt. And Rashid, you want to talk Randy Moss dogs plays? Rashid Wallace dogged the whole season.
He did. He just jacks up threes.
He just, and like
Triple team, 3!
like, he just didn't care. I think I would have liked for them to go a little bit younger. I understand that there weren't that many younger options out there for the positions, so I am happy with the Shaq, the Jermaine O'Neal. Delonte West, I don't think he's going to be able to play much. He's going to be behind Rondo for sure, and then probably Nate.
I think it depends on where they fit him. Like, I think he's a better because in college he was a shooting guard because he played with Jameer Nelson, and when he came to Boston,
What a great back.
oh my god,
backcourt,
we could have
huh?
had that. By the way, we
I
could have
know.
had that backcourt, but we fucking drafted some. I think I'm blanking. I think like Keedrick Brown or some stupid
Nice.
shit like that. But we should have had that. But anyways, so he's a natural shooting guard, and we try to make him a point guard. And other teams try to make him a point guard as well. I think if he comes in and plays shooting guard and Nate's the backup point, I think we're going to be pretty good. Our bench.
Didn't we
anyways.
draft a point guard too? Out of Texas?
Avery Bradley.
Yeah.
He can play both guard positions. He's
So, I mean,
potential to be
I
good.
I think we might have one too many guards. One of those guys might be expendable. Probably Delonte out of the bunch. Maybe Nate. I doubt Nate is going to be expendable. He really came on strong last year towards the end.
He's instant offense with
Yeah.
Nate Robinson.
Anthony Talbot wrote in. He said he thinks the Celtics have a good chance of making it to the finals for the third time in 4 years, even though the East is very stacked. He likes the pickup of both O'Neals, Jermaine and Shaq, and he says what the Celtics lacked last year was someone who could put them. Could plug the driving lane, which is very true. He said they did have Perk and Rashid, but with the addition of both O'Neals, this makes for a solid defense and already matches a pretty good offense.
Absolutely.
So that was a great write-in by him.
And hits the nail right on the head.
Yeah,
with
so
that.
I mean, somebody's got to sign up Anthony Talbot to a sports deal because that man knows
Make
his
him be
business.
GM.
But yeah, that's next week I think we're going to do a full-out NBA preview. This was just our Celtics bias.
Yeah.
We're not afraid to show that we have bias.
Mainly because they played preseason last night and they played really well.
Yeah, they did. And I just heard that down to the Nets till like 38-37. Inexcusable. I don't care if it's a preseason. Inexcusable. We're going to go on to an opinion topic.
I like opinions, man. It's going to be fun.
Everyone's got an opinion, Manoffs.
That is true.
We just get to broadcast ours.
We're just those guys.
Yes. What is the better rivalry? Is it Jets versus the Patriots, Celtics versus the Lakers, or Red Sox versus the Yankees? We had, before we get into it, because I don't want to end up leaving them out, Phil Crosby wrote in. He thinks it's the Bruins and the Canadians.
That is simply not true.
See, you as a non-hockey fan would say that, but they have such an unbelievable rivalry. These two teams, I mean, it's so genuine. I went to a Bruins-Canadians game last year. Like, there's just so much hatred between these like groups of fans.
I would put them as 3, but not top.
So
Never.
you put who would you put them ahead of?
I put them ahead of Pats and Jets.
Pats and Jets?
Because fans like that, whatever.
Yeah,
We talk shit, but it's not that big of a deal.
right. It really you play each other twice a year, which
Exactly.
is big. You know, it's one
game.
It's
Exactly.
1/8 of the season for football. But I think the only reason the Patriots Jets is big is it usually, especially over the last 10 years, if it's not the Patriots in the division, it's the Jets. You know what I mean? Belichick came over from the Jets after signing with them and is like,
For like
no,
a
I don't want to
day.
do that. That's so stupid.
I was drunk last night, my
And then,
bad.
you have Tom Brady coming out saying, "Oh, I just hate the Jets. I'm not even going to watch Hard Knocks," which is
Yeah.
why I love Tom Brady. And then you just have all these verbal battles. But I agree, that's number 4. Bruins Canadians is 3.
I'll give you 3, yeah.
We swap. We have different opinions on 1 and 2. I'll let you go first.
My 2 is definitely the Celtics Lakers. That's basically basketball, Celtics and Lakers. They have combined the most championships, obviously. They're just Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Shaq. Well, Shaq's a Celtic now, but Kobe and Paul Pierce. It's awesome. All the rivalries in the 80s do with Taylor McHale taking out Kurt Rambis. Dude, that's just number 2. But my number 1 is Red Sox Yankees. I know someone, I don't really know him personally. I met him a long time ago, but he's like a friend of a friend. He's a Yankees fan, and a few years ago, probably like 5 years ago, he got into a bar fight because he was wearing a Yankees hat in Boston and got stabbed.
Excellent.
That's how hardcore this rivalry is. And Red Sox Yankee fans will just go at it all day long. And dude, it's the best rivalry in sports. Fuck Duke and UNC. Fuck like
I don't think
St. Louis and Chicago. Who gives a shit?
What sport? Baseball?
Oh, baseball or St. Louis,
Jesus.
whatever the fuck their rivalry
That doesn't matter.
is.
I think a good underrated rivalry is Dodgers-Giants. Very underrated.
I agree.
I go to California every other summer, and I stay near the LA area, and it really is a big thing over there. My number 2 is Red Sox-Yankees. And it's so close. You know what I mean? Like Red Sox, Yankees, Celtics, Lakers. Like they're so close to each other. We're very lucky to live in Massachusetts and get to experience all these firsthand.
Spoiled. It's
Like, could you imagine if we lived in like Cincinnati
Cleveland hasn't won anything since like 1945.
or like Detroit, where like the only thing that matters is hockey, which is great. They have a great hockey team, but imagine being a Lions fan. That's terrible. I think Red Sox Yankees is great. I think it's awesome. The one thing that I think hurts this rivalry is these two teams can never ever play each other for the championship.
That would be so magical.
Like, could you imagine Red Sox versus Yankees in the World Series?
Oh, that'd be the best World Series in the history of the planet.
Could you imagine? Like, remember when they're in the ALCS? There's so much press hype. Did you watch the 30 for 30 the other night?
I taped it. I haven't watched it yet.
Watch
Awesome.
it. Unbelievable. It's one of the best stories. Like,
I bet, dude.
You get to go like into the locker room, stuff like that. It's great. Imagine as you see the fans' faces in New York and Boston. It's unbelievable. The history, Babe Ruth going to the Yankees. Then you have, I think that big gap from 1918 to 2004 is what kind of sinks this rivalry for me a little bit. Is the fact that for, what is it, 86 years,
my man.
86 years, it was not like, it wasn't all Yankees because, of course, Red Sox won baseball games, but they didn't win anything.
Right.
From 04 till last year, I think this was a great rivalry. This year, the rivalry sucked. There was no interest in the Red Sox whatsoever. Nobody cared. I mean, you still got fired up for Red Sox Yankees, but did you watch that last series in Fenway? Like, the fans just did not care.
It's tough when you know you're out of the playoffs.
It's rough. It's terrible. For me, it's Celtics Lakers. You have the history. How many times these guys have played each other for the championship?
Oh my god!
The last time they played was '86. Before it was 07, 06,
08.
08. That's me in numbers.
Yep, 08.
But that 22-year gap. Look how many fans were so excited for that.
Oh my
Like this
God,
place was
absolutely.
unbelievable. They would have been happy regardless, no matter who we played in the finals. We got to the finals, but it's the Lakers. The
intense.
Beat LA shirts came back alive. The Gino, all that stuff, everything. It was excellent. I mean, that is the best rivalry, and I hope to God, which is one of the things that pisses me off the most about this whole Miami Heat thing, is because they're buying championships. Which I know the Red Sox do that, the Yankees do that. Teams with money can do that, but I really, really want to see the tiebreaker. Kobe beat us one time. We beat the Lakers
Absolutely.
one time. There's got to be a winner.
Celtics in the playoffs are undefeated when they have their whole starting five.
Yeah.
Undefeated. And every time that we've lost, KG was gone, Perk was gone. We're going to be good. We're going to win.
I think so.
And to touch back on the Sox Yankees real quick, is I heard in the beginning of the season that there was talk that they were considering realigning the AL East. So, like, we have Red Sox had 89 wins and we're in the playoffs. People like who the fuck was it? The Giants? How many wins did they have? I don't think
Giants
it was
finished with 90.
90? All right. There's one team that didn't have that good. Anyways, they should have been in the fucking playoffs.
I agree.
But they're talking about realigning it, and maybe they'll get switched up. You never know.
We're going to quickly do our celeb thing. We kind of got off into a rant. Matt, who do you want to slap and why?
I am going to slap Ken Wisenhunt, the coach of the Arizona Cardinals.
Nice.
I say this because not only did you cut the best quarterback in the history of the planet, that's not named Tom Brady, Matt Leinart.
Agreed.
You cut him for Derek Anderson, and now you're benching him for Max Steele, maybe is his name?
Agreed.
I don't even know, an undrafted rookie,
Agreed.
because Derek Anderson sucked balls.
I totally agree.
Like 2 years removed from the Super Bowl appearance.
I agree.
Go fuck yourself.
For me, and I try not to pick sports guys all the time because we're a sports-based show, but for me, it's Mel Kiper. I hate him. And the only reason is, like, I was watching SportsCenter. We're nowhere near the NFL draft. Like, we're not even close.
That's all that dude does.
And this guy is on TV with his comb over, and he's so wrong about everything. Like, last year he said Jimmy Clausen, top 5 pick. He was a second-rounder.
All those quarterbacks, dude.
We're going to get Dylan Hollinger to send a huge email about Mel Kiper and his funny-ass quotes because Dylan goes nuts on this guy.
Oh, my God, I can't wait.
Thank you, everybody, to writing in. Megan, Teresa, Hipson, Tim wrote in, but it was an absurd comment. We love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Keep adding people.
Keep adding people. We'll see you next week for week 10.
Bye.